be live to bring you those. But we move on now, staying in North America. It's the 250th birthday of the United States Army and Trump's 79th. To mark the day, tanks and other armoured military vehicles rumbled down the streets of Washington, D.C. on the 15th of June. Trump teased the event as unforgettable and praised the Army as the greatest, fiercest and bravest fighting force. Parachutists glided through the air as soldiers marched and tanks groaned through the barricaded streets of Washington. Nearly 7,000 soldiers and about 150 military vehicles paraded celebrating the birthday. Trump had sought a massive military parade ever since attending a Bastille Day celebration in Paris in 2017, but faced pushback from defence officials during his first term. Trump's arrival prompted cheers and a handful of jeers from the crowd, which was dotted with red "Make America Great Again" hats. Attendance appeared to be less than the military's prediction of about 200,000 people. Meanwhile, away from the celebrations, among about 100 protests at Logan Circle, they protested about the parade as a dictator behaviour. People were protesting against Trump's deployment of troops in the country's second largest city, following clashes sparked by immigration raids. Protest organisers expected rallies in all 50 US states, calling them the largest since Trump returned to office in January, with the aim of rejecting authoritarianism, billionaire-first politics and the militarisation of democracy. Holding signs with messages like "No Kings" and "No Crown for the Clown," the protests stood in stark contrast to the massive military parade. Well, of course, this parade marred with a day of protests, some also potentially violent. Joining us to discuss that is Martin Sa-Arrayas, an international affairs expert who is joining us from Quito in Ecuador. Martin, this was Trump's big plan. He's wanted this parade and has finally got it to celebrate 250 years of the US military, as well as his own birthday. Do you think this might backfire politically for him, given the number of protests that we've seen across the whole of the country against him directly?
I think Donald Trump chose a bad timing. Actually, on his birthday, it can be very controversial. It can lead to a lot of conclusions from his opposition, from the Democrats. It can be seen as a symbolic message of authoritarianism and of power of the military and the system of protection of the US. I think Trump should have chosen another date, because this can be very this can lead to a very difficult situation where his opposition can take it as a threat to the division of the state powers. But I think this is not such a huge mistake. I think Trump can figure out how to deal with his opposition. But again, I think the timing is wrong, and we're seeing a lot of conflicts in the world right now for such a for using this as a political tool.
Yes, Martin. Of course, Trump came into office with the popular vote. He won the House, he won the Senate, and of course the presidency. The sentiment was that he had the ability to do what he wants, and almost it seems that during his second term he has done what he can, potentially against courts, against certain groups as well, to push those policies through. Do you think, given the level of protest, do you think we'll see a shift in the way that Trump operates, knowing that his popularity within certain groups like immigrants and communities where there is a heavy immigrant majority, do you think he might have a different tact?
No, I don't think so, because something that I appreciate about Donald Trump's character is that he does what he thinks. Even though it's really controversial, it will be a sign of weakness to go back and to retract for a lot of his policies. I mean, this would show a lot of weakness from his side, and it's about giving up about his policies because of social pressure. So I don't think anything is going to change. I think he should apply his policies in a more not violent way. I mean, we've seen a lot of icy responses that have been a little bit more violent and crossing a lot of red lines. However, I think Trump would be right to keep implementing his policies. This is what people voted for, his immigration policies, policies about international affairs, immigration, economy. So I think he should stay on his way and apply what he promised, but he should apply it in a more efficient and more peaceful way, not in a way that people can get hurt or can be seen as a violent or authoritarian way to apply policies.
Yes, absolutely. And Martin, as we come to an end of this discussion, militarisation of democracy is something that was heard across the country at these protests. There was also millions of cost in this military parade with huge deployment. Do you think these conflicting messages and signals really do show a divide in the country on this topic? And how might that be managed by the US administration after a generally unpopular choice amongst many?
Absolutely. I think we are in a point of division in the States. The polarization of the society is evident. I think Trump should try to get in terms, not to give up on his policies, but to try to balance the absolutely triumph of his policies and the will of the people. A lot of people have been hurt by ICE, people who are not illegal in the US. So he should be careful about what kind of people are being deported, what kind of legal pave on the way of the people to get citizenship there are right now. If they are in a legal track, they should get their citizenship, and Trump should try to balance his interests, his policies, and what people want. So I think we're in a point of polarization, and he should try to manage it in another strategic way.
Absolutely. Martin Saar-Arrayas, thank you ever so much for taking the time to join us. That polarization in the United States is something we will continue to monitor and bring you all of the updates from. We do, however, have some breaking news to bring you before we close today. And Iranian media has just said that the death toll from Israeli attacks on Friday and Saturday is at least 128, this including women and children. And there has also been reports of hundreds more wounded. This an update on the last figure that we had received, which was saying that hundreds wounded but 78 killed. Given the extent of the military action by Israel, civilian casualties, collateral civilian casualties are expected, and we will continue to bring you updates as these Israeli strikes continue on for a third day. According to the health ministry, these people were martyred in these military attacks. We've heard that around 900 injured individuals were admitted. The report also says that the deaths include at least 40 women, adding that the number of martyred children is significant. Those are direct quotes for you. This information, of course, is coming from Iranian media. Limited journalist access means that it's difficult for these to be confirmed, but as we get confirmed figures and the updates from Iran, we will bring those to you. But that is all we have time for all of the updates from the